A PC is amazing, and we will today look at how PC is amazing. What are the components that make the PC amazing? Well, it's going to be lots of fun because we will see exactly how softwares interact with all of these important PC components like CPU, RAM, disk, hard drive, SSD, which is a part of disk, then GPU. Let us get right into the computer screen because it will be easy to explain with the task manager open. We have come to CPU at first. This is the first in list. CPU is, I'm not going to talk about the full form. Intel Core i3, this is my CPU. There are different types of CPU in the market today. There is AMD Ryzen, it's just the brand. Then this is an important part of the equation, which is 3.60 gigahertz. How many number of calculations a PC can do per second? It determines how fast a PC will be. Also, there is another determination factor, which is number of cores. Core is like the brain of a PC. PC with one core will just have one brain. And a PC with 4 core will have 4 brain. That means they can do 4 things simultaneously. And also there is some kind of hyper-threading technology at least that doubles up the CPU cores. For example, I have 4 CPU cores but logical processor, that means actual number of cores I have is 8. My PC is doubling up its cores just to assist in more multitasking kind of steps. And how does that even work? For example, we are now at processes. OBS Studio is running and it's using around 2.5% of my CPU. Now we have Brave browser. Let's interact with the Brave browser. Okay. As you see, the CPU spiked up a little bit. 2.5%. Now let me refresh. Keep on refreshing. You will see that the CPU is just spiking up. 6.7%, 9%, 14%. It's just taking up more processing power. So when we do things with an application, the application, for example, I'm clicking on this new tab. It happened. Why did it happen in the first place? Because the application took help from the CPU, used the power of CPU to display us this new tab. And now we can work with it. That's it. That's going to be pretty much same across all other applications. All of the interaction that we do with our PC, thanks to CPU, that it's possible. Let us just jump right into memory because the CPU part was pretty clear, I guess. As you can see here, my memory is 29% occupied already out of 12 GB. So how is this even getting occupied? It's getting occupied because when we run an application, it needs some space. It doesn't store it into these hard drive or solid state drive that is more suited for permanent storage for files and folder. Like when the application is installed in our PC, that is stored inside of our drives. But for now, memory is just a temporary space that an application occupies when we open it. When I have this app open, now you will see that my memory is getting occupied 325 MB. Let me open multiple tabs here. You will slowly observe that my memory is rising and rising. Why is this happening? Because all of these tabs are occupying some space. Whenever we do something with an application, it needs some space. That space is given by memory and it's temporary. The moment I close the tabs, the memory will be freed. Now, higher the memory, you will get higher space to do these kind of things, and lower the memory you have, lower will be the amount of things you can keep open at once, applications you can keep open at once. Hope that's clear. We will now jump deeply into disks. Disks are of two types. One is hard drive, which is disk 0 for me, and this is SSD, which is disk 1. SSDs are said to be 10x faster than an ordinary hard drive. It's basically hard drive but technologically advanced, you can say. And this is my disk drive pretty much. This is local disk C. This is where my Windows is installed. All of these disk drive are a necessary part of the equation. By default, a disk contains a single drive, but you can separate it and create multiple drives based on your space. For example, I have 256 GB SSD, that is my C drive and G drive. I separated that disk into 2 partitions or 2 drive or 2 volume. One is of 183 GB and 48 GB. That sums up to approximately 256 GB, right? And now, if you find this concept confusing, try to think of a drive as a top level folder where you can separately store your files and folders. And this folder has a space of about 432 GB. And you can do anything with that 432 GB. You can store any kind of data until that limit is not crossed. This is going to be a bonus tutorial where I'll be showing you how you can create a drive, you can delete a drive. If you are having just a single drive, if you ever need to reinstall Windows, clean install Windows, all of your data that you have put in that drive will be gone. Take caution, I definitely recommend you to create multiple drives. It will help you be organized as well as prevent any misfortunes from happening. Prevention is better than cure. Okay, enough talking. Now let me show you how you can edit drives, create drives, or even delete drives. That is only applicable for Windows, and the concept will stay pretty much the same across different kind of operating systems. I'll search here, press the Windows key and then search create partition. Okay, one pro tip as well. This is the second bonus of this video. Okay, this is going to be a second bonus tip, which is always use Windows key to bring up this search bar and search for your application. You will always get what you want. For example, I searched for create partition. It gave me an application that will help me to do so, right? Let's create and format partition. As you can see here, I have disk 0 and disk 1. Disk 0 has some separate drives and disk 1 has some separate drives. Now what I will do is create a new partition. I'll select the D drive. It has some space available. I will right click and shrink the volume. I'll put in 10,000, 10,000, and I will press on shrink. It will reduce the size of my disk and give me some free space that I can use to create a new simple partition or volume. Okay, it's going to be H drive. I'm happy with that. Next, finish. And now as you see here, my H drive is created. See, it's created, new simple volume. It's another top level folder with some space inside of it that I can do so many kind of stuffs. I can put so much of data. I can also install applications. Though it is recommended to install applications on C drive. Now that it's done, I don't need H drive. I'm going to just delete it. Delete the volume. Right click delete, and I will click on the D drive again, and this time extend the volume. It will take the unallocated space just at the side of it. Okay. Next 10,000 MB, it will allocate itself. This is what happened, right? Alright, that was a pretty long drawn discussion about disk drive. Hope that's very clear to you. Now we will jump straight to GPU. GPU, another PU. Yes, this PU is also a processing unit. CPU is central processing unit and GPU is graphical processing unit. This is also a special kind of processor that is really specific to some kind of activities. For example, here it's already given. These are the stats for 3D, copying, video decode, video processing, and lot more stuff. GDI render, then Engine 5, so many kind of stuffs. It is mostly useful for graphics related stuff, for AI related stuffs, for running an AI application, because it can do like thousands of things at once. Multitasking at its best. It is just a support system for a PC that will really boost the power of your PC while doing these kind of stuffs like video editing, then AI related things, then editing related stuffs. Never create a PC without a dedicated GPU in this day and age. That is the best advice you can get from a non-GPU user. That's what I can do at best. Anyway, well, this is going to be it. We talked a lot about PC components and I will sum it up as quickly as possible. So a CPU is definitely the heart of a PC that pumps all the blood so that when we open an application, it can take that blood and do the thing. Okay, this is kind of getting biological. In simple terms, CPU just helps you to do everything. When you open an application, thanks to CPU that it's happening. When you do something inside of an application, thanks to CPU that it's actually happening. Then there is memory. To have that application open, you need some space. Just like to have me here, sitting here, I need space. Without space, how can I even live in this world? Everything occupies space. So does software. And also that is temporarily. When you close that application, that space will be freed. Yeah, just like when I move from here to here, the space will be free, right? Then we can come to disks. Disks, you can also call them as ROM. That is what in phone it is called. And all of these concepts that I am discussing here is applicable for phone. It works on pretty much the same concept architecture. in phones as well. So disks are a permanent way of storing data, also a temporary way if it gets automatically deleted or you manage to delete it. It just does both of them, but it's much slower than the RAM. In layman's term, disk is all about storing your files and folders, installing some applications, all of that data that is getting installed on your PC, everything is stored in disk drive permanently so that you don't have to install it over and over again to get something, to use some application, right? For example, I'm using this PC, and what if after I use it, it just gets vanished, it gets destroyed automatically? That won't be a great experience, right? But thankfully, my PC is kind of permanent. It is not getting destroyed after I just switch it off, after I just press on that UPS. But oh, I was actually going to do that. That would really cut off my voice recording at least. Next, we will move into GPU. GPU is also a special kind of processor that really helps in doing special kind of stuffs like AI stuffs, then video editing stuffs, photo editing stuffs. A GPU can do so many kind of stuffs at once. But can humans do multiple? Can you think about two things at the same time? No, but a GPU can. A CPU also can, but on a lower scale, like 8 cores, right? I have 8 cores as I showed you. So 8 things it can think or do at the same time. But in case of GPU, it's like 100 steps. It's like 1,000 steps. There is no limit. And that's why it speeds up the processing of a video, training of an AI, running a powerful application. That is what a GPU does mainly. Okay, this is going to be the end, and special thanks to Bing AI image generator for helping me out with all those crazy looking pictures of a PC, futuristic PC. That was a lot of fun, and thanks for keeping it free at least. And thanks to you for staying till this far. YouTube AI will definitely love it and push my content across audiences having similar interests like you do. Well, I'll see you next time. Until then, bye.